Hello everyone, I am your educator Mamta. We are starting with UPSC Plus series on Indian Geography. You are watching Arpita Sharma classes and you can subscribe to this channel. For more updates, you can press a bell icon and you can download the PDF of this lecture from Simplifying UPSC with Ease. And today we are starting with the structure of the Earth and the atmosphere. So first let us learn about the structure of the Earth. So what is structure of the Earth? So in structure of Earth, we are understanding what lies inside the Earth. So basically the Earth is divided into three layers. One is crust, mantle, outer core and inner core. So how the scientists came to know about this layer? So from direct and indirect source that is available, like through mining or volcanic activities, the materials which came out from that, the scientists have divided the layer based on the state which it is there. So what happens from this learning? So when we learn about this, we know that there is a constant change that is occurring due to the tectonic movements. So we can understand the natural calamities and protect ourselves from those activities. So first let us learn about the crust. So moving forward, the radius of the Earth is somewhere around 6,370 kilometers. So till now nobody has reached the center of the Earth and nobody can reach the center of the Earth. So when it comes to crust is the outermost solid part of the layer and it is a breakable in structure. Means when earthquake happens, it can be broken easily and it varies in the thickness because see, this is the crust, mantle, core. Okay, so this consider it as a oceanic and this is the continental. So when you travel from oceanic crust to mantle, within 5 kilometers you can reach the next layer. But when you are moving from the continental, you need to travel somewhere around 30 to 35 kilometers to reach the next layer. So that is why there is a variation in the thickness. And it is again divided into two, that is outer layer and the lower layer, that is outer crust and the inner crust. So basically the outer crust consists of sedimentary materials like granite, igneous rock, metamorphic rocks which came out during the volcanic activities and due to the weathering and erosion converted themselves into the sedimentary rocks, and they are basically acidic in nature and the density is 2.7. So in layer of the Earth what happens? As you move down, the density will be increasing. Okay, so the outer crust density will be very low compared to the next layers. Okay, so in lower layer, that is in the inner layer, what happens? The rocks which are found are basaltic or ultra basaltic and the density is higher than the outer core, that is 3. And the outer layer consists of silicon and aluminium, that is Cr, and the inner layer or the lower layer consists of silicon, iron and magnesium, that is Cma. Okay, so this much is clear. So next layer is mantle. So mantle extends from Mao discontinuity, that is 35 kilometers, to the depth of 2,900 kilometers. See, for example, this is the layers of the Earth. This is the crust, this is the mantle and this is the core, and it extends from 35 kilometers. So from 0 to 35 kilometers you can find the crust. From 35 to 2,900 kilometers you can see the mantle. So the crust and again the mantle is divided into two, that is upper crust and the lower crust. So the upper mantle and the crust together called as lithosphere. Okay, and you can also see the asthenosphere in the upper portion. So asthenosphere is the weaker position because it is formed out of molten rocks and which is in liquid state. So the plate tectonics happen in this layer. Okay, the continuous movement of the rocks. And the density is higher compared to the crust. As I said, if you move down, the density will be increasing. So the density is 3.4% and the lower mantle is in solid state, and it is also responsible for all the seismic activities and the earth volcanoes. Okay, so the upper mantle, it is in the molten form, and the lower mantle, it is in the solid state, and this is responsible for the magma, and it is responsible for the seismic activities and the volcanic activities. Okay, so the next layer is the core. So the core is located to the depth of 2900 kilometers to 6400 kilometers. So crust, mantle and the core. So the crust starts from 0 to 35 kilometers, and from 35 to 2900 kilometers there is a mantle. From 2900 kilometers to 6400 kilometers there is a core. And again the core is divided into two, that is outer core and the inner core. So this outer core, it is in the liquid state, and this inner core, it is in the solid state. So as I said, as we go down, the density will be increasing, so that okay, because of higher density you can see the heaviest material in the layer of the core. Okay, so it is mainly composed of nickel and iron. So these are the boundaries between the layers. So the boundary between the upper crust and the lower crust, it is called as Coulthard discontinuity, and the layer which is dividing the crust and the upper mantle, it is called as Moravec discontinuity, and it is between lower crust and the upper mantle. And the layer which is dividing between the upper and the lower mantle, upper mantle and the lower mantle, it is Repti. So Repti was a scientist who discovered the mantle layer, so it is named after him. So next, the layer which is dividing the lower mantle and the upper core, it is Gutenberg. Again the Gutenberg was the scientist, it is named after him. So next, the discontinuity, like the layer which is dividing the outer and the inner core, it is Lehmann discontinuity. So we need to remember these names. So now let us learn about the structure of the atmosphere. So what is atmosphere? So atmosphere is nothing but the thin blanket of the air which is surrounding the earth surface. So a thin blanket of the air which is surrounding the earth surface. So this is the lifeline for the living beings on the earth. Because of atmosphere there is the existence of the lives on the earth, and it was formed after the formation of the earth, that is somewhere around 4.5 billion years ago. And how it was formed? So it was formed out of basically three, that is degassing, volcanic activities and gravity pull. So in degassing state what happened? Earth was in the molten state. So it was filled with all the gases which is very hot. Due to the degassing, like escape of these gases into the space, Earth started cooling down and the primary atmosphere started forming surrounding the Earth. So later what happens? Volcanic activity started. From volcanic activities, many oxygen came outside from the interior of the Earth, and again it started surrounding the Earth surface. Later, because of the gravity, all this like all these gases which was surrounding the earth was retained. It didn't let this oxygen to escape into the space. Okay, so this was the formation of the atmosphere. So the atmosphere, the composition of the atmosphere is very important. So it is composed of nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide, neon, helium, krypton, hydrogen and xenon. So you need to remember this. They may ask in ascending order and the descending order. So nitrogen and oxygen consist of 99% of earth atmosphere, and nitrogen, oxygen and argon. So these three forms the primary part of earth atmosphere. So other composition includes gaseous and the water vapors. So what is water vapor? So the water vapor is present in liquid and the gaseous state, and it is the amount of moisture which is present in the atmosphere. We call it as a water vapors, and this gaseous mainly composed of greenhouse gases. The most important is carbon dioxide. Okay, and this gaseous and water vapor, it is found up to 90 kilometers from the surface of the earth. So in the layers of atmosphere up to 90 kilometers you can find the gases and the water vapor. Beyond that you cannot see the gases and the water vapor. And because of greenhouse gases, so these are the greenhouse gases, that is sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide and ozone. So remember this, very important. So because of these greenhouse gases, what happened? It will be very transparent to the incoming solar radiation and opaque to the outgoing terrestrial radiations. Like when sun raises enters the earth, so it will be very transparent and make the earth warmer, these greenhouse gases. So again this solar energy start radiating, so these greenhouse gases trap all this radiation and keep the earth warmer. So this is the major activity of greenhouse gases. So always the carbon dioxide should be maintained in the same level. It should not increase or it should not be decreased. So when it is increased, it leads to many natural calamities which we are seeing today. So that is why carbon dioxide is called as lighting gases on the earth. So now we will learn about the structure of the atmosphere. So the structure of atmosphere is divided into troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. So as we go high, the density will be decreasing. Okay. So in structure of the earth, in the layers of the earth, as we go down, the density will be increasing. But in the structure of atmosphere, as we go up, the density will be decreasing. So first let us learn about the troposphere. And this troposphere is the lowermost layer of the earth's surface. From pole, it is somewhere around 13 kilometers. From equator, it is 18 kilometers. Okay. And the temperature near the pole is minus 45 degree and the temperature near the equator is minus 80 degree, and it is higher in the equator region because of the thickness of atmosphere which is present near the equator. Okay, and all the changes like climate or weathering activities take place in this region, like precipitation, cloud formation, everything take place in the troposphere. Okay, and the temperature decreases at 1 degree Celsius for every 165 meter of height. So if you travel 165 kilometers, So for every 165 kilometers, the temperature will be decreasing from 1 degree Celsius. Okay, so this troposphere consists of 80% of Earth atmosphere, that is nitrogen and oxygen. So 80% of Earth atmosphere can be seen in the troposphere. So next comes stratosphere. So here tropopause is the boundary between troposphere and the stratosphere. So the boundary is called as tropopause. So this stratosphere is known for the stable temperature because the presence of chemosphere or the ozone layer. So because the presence of ozone layer absorbs all the radiation, the UV radiation, and it stabilizes the temperature. Stratosphere extends from 13 to 50 kilometers. So from 0 to 13 kilometers you can see the troposphere. After from 13 there will be a tropopause. From 13 to 50 kilometers there will be a stratosphere. So here in stratosphere what happens? The temperature rises with the increasing altitude because the presence of chemosphere or the ozone layer. So the ozone layer, which is important for the observation of the ultraviolet rays which is coming from the radiation of the earth. So because of that the temperature will be increasing as you go up, and this layer is famous for free clouds and there will be no weather condition. Okay. So next is mesosphere. So it extends up to the height of 80 kilometers. Okay, from 0 to 10 or 13 there will be a troposphere. From 13 to 50 there will be a stratosphere. From 50 to 80 kilometers you can see the mesosphere. Okay, so mesosphere. So it is considered as a coldest place on the earth. So the average temperature is minus 100 degrees Celsius. Okay. So here what happens? All the meteoroids like which enters the earth. So all that meteoroids will be burning in this layer. So this layer is very important because it protects the earth from the meteoroids. If this layer was not there, earth would have been destroyed because of the meteoroids. Okay, and the upper limit of this mesosphere is called as mesopause. So the uppermost is called as mesopause. So after mesopause you can see the thermosphere. Thermosphere or the ionosphere. Okay, so it extends from 80 kilometers to 400 kilometers above the mesosphere. So here you can see the electrically charged particles, that is ions. So this layer is called as ionosphere, and here this layer is used for radio waves. So all the radioactivities which will be taking in this layer, and you can see the presence of International Space Station and all the satellites, the low Earth orbit satellites will be orbiting around the thermosphere. And even in this layer the temperature will be increasing with the increasing in the height. So the last layer, the outermost layer of the Earth atmosphere is exosphere. So the exosphere consists of the dangerous gases like hydrogen and the helium. So this hydrogen and the helium are the lightest gases. So it escapes higher and it revolves in the exosphere. So here the temperature will be increasing and the temperature will be very high. The temperature is 5568 degrees Celsius, means very high in temperature.